I love Chris and Rachel Webb like they're my own kids. I was given the privilege to marry them just a few years ago. It was a beautiful outdoor wedding on a picturesque farm in the country. Little did they know the challenge and test of their faith that would lay before them. Here is their story.
We found out that we were pregnant, I think it was in February. It was amazing news. We were extremely excited.
About a week and a half later, I hear Rachel say, "Chris, come in here quickly." And I came into the bathroom and we thought she had a miscarriage.
They decided to do an ultrasound and they couldn't find anything. They actually said, "Do you see that little flicker?" And we were like, "We don't see anything." And they said, "Well, that's your baby's heartbeat, the baby's fine." But they did consider it a threatened miscarriage, which meant that nothing actually happened, but they were still concerned that something could happen.
After that kind of experience, you start worrying about what things can go wrong. And I was actually down in our basement, and I was just praying, and I felt like the Lord, it was almost like an audible voice. "Christopher, your boy is going to be okay."
He was 19 weeks and he was measuring 17 weeks on all of the scans. His arms and legs and his torso were measuring smaller than another baby at his age. One of the things that it could possibly be is Down syndrome. We did a lot of praying and we said, if this is what you have for us, we're still going to love this baby.
And that's when the Lord said, "Remember what I told you? Your boy is going to be okay."
His growth was going to slow down more and more until he just stopped growing, and that he probably wouldn't be big enough to be born. So, sorry.
When we heard that news, that was one of the worst days of our life. And it was one of those things that it just seems like the whole world stops, and you can't think, you don't even know what to feel except just complete loss.
So I told all of this to my mom, and she told all of this to Chris Rumlinger, Mrs. Chris, and she contacted me and said, "Would you be willing to come over and have the elders pray over you and anoint you with oil?" And I said, "Absolutely, we'll take any prayer that we can get right now." And while Garrett was praying for Lincoln, then he started kicking in my stomach because he loved all prayer. He would kick during worship music. He would get excited when we prayed. He would get excited when we read the Bible.
So about 6 months into our pregnancy, our doctor said, "Your baby's up to 1 pound." And Rachel and I were so ecstatic. We were clapping, we were hugging each other. To us, that was everything, because that was another prayer that he answered. And it also meant that Lincoln would survive.
Then we had another appointment, and the doctor said when he walked in the room was, "This was a surprising turn of events." And he said, "You might even be able to carry this baby to term and carry him for the full 40 weeks.
For us guys, 9 months. So one of the things that we constantly had to battle through this whole pregnancy was bad report after bad report, and then we were dropped with the bomb that he could have had a major heart condition.
We found out later that they had 15 minutes to get him out without him passing away. While I was on the operating table praying, "Please let God let this baby be okay," they said, "Stop everything, don't do anything, he's back up." We're people of faith, and we need to trust our God that he's going to take care of our baby. Every once in a while, during one of those dips that Lincoln would have where his heart rate would plummet, then I would say, I rebuke you, Dip. That heart rate is going to come back up. You have no place here, devil. Get out of my hospital room. Leave my baby alone. And slowly you'd watch that heart rate climb right back up. So when I was admitted to the hospital, my mom brought this devotional for me. Are you helping me? Thank you.
Oh, thank you, babe.
And a couple of days before Lincoln was born, the verse of the day was, "For no matter how many promises God has made, they are yes in Christ." And then the day that I went into labor, it was, "Go in the strength you have, am I not sending you?" The day that Lincoln was born, it was, "I set before you today life and prosperity." And the day after Lincoln was born was, "On the seventh day you shall rest." They told us that he wasn't going to probably be able to eat for another few weeks, and he sucked down his first bottle immediately. We got to bring him home on October 27th, 2016. He went on multiple different medications for it, but nothing seemed to help. We prayed about it and we just said, "Please God, take this from him." It was so hard to watch him go through that. And that's another thing that God has healed him from. This is the kid that all the doctors said he's not going to make it. This is why. They had a million reasons why Lincoln was not going to be born. And God said, "Your boy's going to be fine." And every time that the doctor said anything, we would just have to remind ourselves, our boy's going to be fine because God said he's going to be fine. And he is.
Seeing everything that we went through, if I didn't hear that word from the Lord that said, "Your boy will be okay," I don't know how I would have gone through all those months. But knowing and having that promise, I mean, we quoted that so many times during the pregnancy, and every time we had a bad report and we came home just feeling so down and crushed, we would say, "The Lord said, your boy will be fine."